Welcome on back, everyone. So I got this here chest full of a bunch of ore blocks from all the silk touching I've been doing. And it's about time I do something with them. I mean, I guess I could just smelt them, but I want to squeeze a little more out of those blocks. Literally, in fact. The goal here is to make a mechanical squeezer. We'll need some obsidian, a diamond, some energy batteries, and a non-mechanical squeezer. For the batteries, we need mineral chunks. And to get mineral, we'll need to dry up mineral resin. And to get mineral resin, we need to squeeze mineral logs. And that's what the non-powered squeezer will be used for. Now, before I go ahead and start doing all that, let's make some equipment here first. Last video, I did a few magical things, so let's go ahead and make a few more items. First, we'll need a scribe's table. Just some simple, I don't think the logs need to be stripped. I think just regular arcwood logs would work just fine. And since this area right here is kind of my magical area, go ahead and throw the scribe table here. The scribe table lets us make glyphs, which we need to be able to make different spells in the spell book. And the spell book is very useful for utility uses as a, one slot item. Take it up one slot in your inventory, but it can do a whole bunch of different things. To make the summon steed one, or the summon mount, whatever, we just need 4 leather. And there we go. Now we can create the spell. And apparently I need to add a form to it. Wouldn't think a summon animal spell would need that, but I guess you can summon them at a certain spot by using a projectile form. But yeah, we then just on demand can get a horse. This means that I don't have to worry about transporting a horse while traveling over water or something. Next spell up will be a glyph of craft. That way I can just do, crafting at will anywhere instead of needing to find a crafting table. And then one last spell, the Mage Light. Just need a torch and a lantern. Very simple. I know I got a lantern somewhere. I know we took it from the chest, or not the chest, the tower at the very start. And, okay, whatever. I'll take that glyph. And if you may have noticed around the forest area, there has been like little floating lights around, and this spell is basically letting me cast that. No need for torches. And as a bonus, I can shoot them at range so I can light up areas ahead of me. And then finally, a backpack to carry a whole bunch of stuff. Especially useful, I mean, inventory is always useful in Minecraft, but this is especially nice for things that I want to keep on me, but don't plan on, like, actively using. And then one of the rewards here gives you a free glyph. May as well just grab it. I believe leap just like lurches you forward real far. But best not to do that if you don't have a safe place to land. And then I just want to show off a sophisticated storage, because we're definitely going to be wanting to rework our storage a bit here too. Just by combining a redwood torch with a chest, a regular chest, lets us turn it into a sophisticated storage version of the chest. And this type does come with a upgrade, a single upgrade slot. But more importantly, as we'll find out later, once I start actually melting down all of my ores, we can start combining them into like iron chests, gold chests, which not only have way more slots in them, but can have multiple upgrades. Very useful. Now, sailing around, this is west of the windmill, and hey, found a mineral tree already. Just gotta look out for blue leaves. Then I notice this very well lit cave underwater. I have no idea what this stuff's used for, but looks pretty. Might take a few home myself. Thankfully, lions don't seem to be hostile, so as long as I don't hit one of them. It's always that risk of one walking in front of you as you're chopping down a tree and you pop them. And annoyingly enough with these mineral trees, they will have like their logs like any other tree, but then there'll be like one block that has the shard in it, and it counts as like a different block, so you can't really use the ultimine on them. And yeah, I came back not to get that last thing, but more to get to break the leaves so I can get myself a sapling or two. Be nice to grow some of those back at home. And hey, found another one not too far away from the last one. This one, however, has something special right next to it. Now, usually villages will have waystones in them, but this one was just kind of out here, which is strange. And yeah, once again, there's just a single block. And no, don't ask why I'm using dirt blocks instead of a scaffolding. And this might be enough for now, especially since I got the saplings, but I'm going to explore just a little bit more. And hey, look, here's another waystone. Then I double checked, there's also another village here, and this village has 2 waystones in it. So I'll just take this one, I'll take the other one at the village, and then just keep the one here. That way I can teleport on over if I want to do trading with the villagers here, even though there's a big old village over at the base. I'm also trying to find some things on the map. But starbunkles aren't too bad of a find. I can always use more of those gems. And this one's a nice purple. I guess you can dye your starbunkles. I'll need to try that out. And this one's very generous. It gives 2 instead of just 1. Now, earlier when I was sailing around, you may have noticed like a green light piercing the heavens, and this is what it is. It's some kind of dark temple from the Evilcraft mod. They tend to have these chests full of random loot. I'm especially enjoying that extra starbuncle shard, but there's also a Wilden horn, which is something I've been finding in chests. There's a mob that drops them, but I can never find them. And there's also some slippers that increases your jump height and also removes fall damage. That's always nice. And apparently you can capture the weather here. Not too sure what that's all about, but just for now I'll mine this and worry about it later. I'm hoping this is used in something useful. And then before taking on off from this area, just gonna check the map real quick and do a quick scan over the various creatures to see if I can find what I've been looking for. Also interesting building there to the west. But yeah, that Wildenhorn, I've been looking for these guys. We throw a Wildenhorn at them. They do a little dance. And hell yeah, 2 shards. More magical creatures that I can't wait to finally start setting around the base. And while we're here, let's see how jump combat works. Not too well. I'm not used to that extra jump height. Because for those who don't know, if you jump as you're landing and you swing, it becomes like a crit. But hey, got the waystone here at base. I got 2 more in my backpack for wherever I want to set them while exploring. Not too bad. Got ourselves a squeezer. We chuck in a log, and as it's a non-powered one, you gotta personally jump on it. And now we can see that there's resin in here. In order to reset the squeezer, you gotta do a redstone signal, so we'll just put a button. Next up, we just need to get the resin out. Just use a bucket. No, actually we don't use a bucket. We'll need to build ourselves a liquid container right next to it. Alright, mechanism 1, simple enough. Some redstone and some iron ingots. Pop that right on next to it, and there we go. And then you just repeat. Then we'll need to get ourselves a drying basin for all this. Off screen, well, I guess while sailing around, I took out a few squids for the black ink. And then we just wait, and eventually the resin will turn into the blocks. Then we'll just need to do this a few more times to get enough resin for the auto squeezer. And what's nice is each block is worth 9 of the shards, so we don't have to worry about finding more trees to get more shards. Next on the list is finding some obsidian. And thankfully, nearby is a broken down nether gate, so we'll just head on over there and grab some obsidian from there. Now, on top of the base here is this. An element craft shrine. A chest that has all sorts of stuff from that mod pack, so that's nice. It'll hopefully help bootstrap me once I get into that, but we'll just leave it alone for now. Do gotta say though, I absolutely miss my walk speed shoes. Now what I briefly looked at there is like a Wilden, I don't know, burrow, and they spawn in there. Once I get like properly set up with gear, I'll probably go ahead and clear it out and show what's inside. But for now, slight issue. My brass pickaxe shows that it has a harvest level of diamond, but apparently that's not the same as what Minecraft considers to be diamond tier mining. But fair enough, Silent Gear has a way to deal with this. Just need to make a tip up blueprint. Grab one of my very few diamonds. Now we have a diamond tip upgrade. And combine that with the pick. And there we go. The pick now is like a diamond tier pickaxe. So yeah, not bad. Now the auto squeezer said it could either use regular obsidian or crying obsidian. I don't think crying obsidian is really used in much, so I may as well just throw the regular obsidian down in its place and use the crying obsidian to craft. Hope Squeezer has been very helpful up to this point, but now it must turn into its true form. And now we need to get power onto it. And the way I plan on getting power done here is we need to get a couple chunks of iron, or rather iron ingots, so I guess I'll sacrifice a few of these blocks. And something I noticed, you can use the crafting interface here while auto-walking. You move extremely slowly, but you can do it. But here we go, we can upgrade furnaces in the same way we can upgrade the chest with iron, gold, diamond, and so forth. And these things can also be upgraded, and I believe they also like smelt faster. Don't know if that increases the efficiency, like, you know, if a chunk of coal expects to take this long to burn through and the furnace just processes things faster, that it saves some, or if it just makes the coal burn faster too. And speaking of coal, with all the chunks of coal that are currently in the impact crater underneath the base here, we can get, like, off of a single one, 320,000 units of power. And I feel like that power is kind of, or the numbers for that power is kind of jank. I think it may be a little too much because it makes you wonder why you would want to do or use other things if you can get 320 off of burning 9 logs. Yeah, it shows right here, 320,000, which is more power than the sum of its parts. So you're always better off combining all your coal or charcoal into a block. And another thing that's useful about those iron furnaces is that apparently if they're not actively generating power, because the furnace can also hold X amount of power, is that once it hits that point and it's not using up any more power, the coal that's being burnt just stops. So you don't ever have to worry about losing potential power. You will get your 320,000. Now, as to why I'm using the squeezer, as it's shown there, we get 3 iron off every block, and then 2 50% chances to get 1 extra block. I don't know how the numbers work, you know, compared to a fortune pick, but I don't have a fortune pick right now. But some things get even more ridiculous. I think copper, just off base level, can get 8 ore squeezed out of it with a chance to get like another 3. But we're not done yet. Next up, we're going to need to make a mixer. And something I'd like to note, if you notice how there's been llamas hanging around the crusher there, for whatever reason, the trader, when he visits, beelines towards that watermill and just drowns himself over and over again. Now getting a mixer is twofold. Besides the ore thing here, if you notice, I've been having to use 2 andesite into either zinc or iron nuggets to make a single andesite alloy. Well, with a mixer, you only need 1 nugget and 1 andesite, so it's way more efficient. Now we just need to set up our mixer above this here basin. And I had some trouble with that, so let's just cut me having to build, I think, 2 additional water mills. And then something I didn't show off that I cut is that you need to have the mixer spin at so fast of a speed. And the way to get the wheels spinning faster is that you have to have a big wheel and then a small wheel attached to that. And then attached to the pole of the small wheel, you put another big wheel, and then attach another small wheel to the corner of that. And you just keep doing that to speed up the wheel. Now we got this here mixer, we'll throw some ore in there. Alright, and then we just chuck a hammer inside, and just like as if you were using it at a crafting table, it will start doubling all the ores inside of that basin. And then over here I had a thing set up where lapis would automatically drop into the apparatus and then spit out the source gems. But now what we're going to use this for is we're going to filter out that it'll only drop various dusts. I'm using the regular filter, not a brass filter here, so I can't use like the tags for it, but that's fine. Just throw a handful of dust that I know I'll be making and it'll be fine. And that should be everything I've got. Now we're going to be using a brass funnel, which requires brass as well as, I believe, kelp. And it's so nice that you can make brass pretty much instantly in this pack, because before it was extremely gated and it would take so long, and it just sucks trying to use these things without filters. So we got that set up. I've knocked a hole in the floor, and every single bit of dust up there will be spat down here. Then I'm going to make a chest. Honestly, I'm not sure why I'm making an iron chest. It's not like I planned for this to hold a whole bunch of stuff, but may as well. Now that I can get so much iron off this doubling method, I don't need to really worry about wasting iron. And now I do have the brass filter, and what we're going to want to do is just drag one of these over, and we can add attributes. In this case, can be smelted, and then add it to the deny list. That way, if anything ends up in front of there that cannot be smelted, it won't go into the chest. Then we'll put some iron bars here. And then we'll need to make an encased fan. Then we'll just rotate this on over with the wrench. Drop a lava bucket here. Water wheel. There used to be a trick where you could use an encased fan that was like over a magma block, and it would generate some rotational energy, and it doesn't work like that anymore, unfortunately. Also, I had the water wheel the wrong way. It was sucking in air rather than blowing out air, but there we go. Need to head on back on top and get everything going once again. So there it goes. And as the little achievement there shows, it's a success. Got ingots coming on in. So once I set up a proper system, I don't have to worry about any fuel anymore. This will just take care of all my smelting needs. And it's not just for ingots. You can throw in some cobblestone and eventually it'll turn into regular stone. So yeah, very nice if I want to, you know, create stone for more Botania stuff. Now I believe smelt times are like a fixed timer. You don't have to worry about... Where did that come from? Why do I have another one of these? That's weird. Anyways. Now, so we now have the ingots going into the chest. Next up, we're going to want to build some item pipes. And I'm going to go with the pipes mod, just because their stuff's kind of simple. Then attach that to the chest. Bring it on down here. Then I had to make a run to craft a few chests. And then just take a chest and you can make a bunch of, or you can make one drawer per chest. Also, I built a pipe specific wrench, but actually the create wrench will work just fine with them. So drawers can hold a bunch of inventory in them, but they can only carry one per like block. But what's nice is that they can kind of act as filters. The ingots will only go into the drawer that has other ingots like it in there. No need to worry about filtering every individual pipe leading to every individual drawer. Then we just need to do some setup up here to have ores be delivered into the mixer. And I'll definitely want to use an iron chest for this. Well, maybe not for this. Again, I don't know why I did that. But what we can do... grab a whole bunch of these different blocks of ore. Then pipe it right into the squeezer. And there we go. It's just time. I just gotta wait around for everything to get squeezed on out. Now here's something I've tried out. And I've made some mistakes here. So first off, I do this. Okay, pipe on in. And it turns out that, for whatever reason, instead of the crushed ores, or the squeezed ores being sent out, the blocks themselves are being taken out. So, just have to stop this. So, what actually works, as I find out way later, is that you can build a hopper underneath the squeezer, and it'll properly shoot out the ores. Another issue I run into here that won't be shown on camera is that I did build a second chest to drop in hammers. Issue is, as soon as a second hammer gets thrown into the basin, everything just stops. I don't know why. So, this becomes kind of pseudo automated, as I had to manually come on over and drop more hammers, or like, you know, personally drop a hammer into the mixer. And And something I thought was a problem here was upgrades for the chest. I was like, okay, what if I built a filter upgrade and filtered out the blocks? So I'm just kind of leaving this in here just to show that you can indeed put upgrades on chests. So just like with the drawers, we can also use this to work as a filter without having to worry about filtering out pipes. Way more convenient. And I believe the pipes upgrade specifically, they need like diamonds to make the filters, so this will work out much better. So yeah, ores aren't going in, but at least the blocks aren't either. So just for those at home, put a hopper underneath the squeezer. It'll automatically deposit all the, proper ores and not the ore blocks. So yeah, there we go. We now not only get a significant chunk of ores off of each individual block that I can pick up through a silk touch, but we can also double the resulting ores of that get squeezed out. So we'll just go ahead and just let all this go on while I take care of other things, and I'll be seeing you all next time. Later.